Not every shift ends with a paycheck. Some end with nightmares. Welcome back to True Stories, where real terror hides in the ordinary. Tonight's tale takes us to a lonely Burger King on a forgotten stretch of highway, where one worker thought he was just pulling another late shift. What he didn't know was that something or someone was waiting, and it wasn't there for the food. Lock your doors. Keep the lights on. This is one night shift you'll never forget. There's something about desperation that dulls your instincts. That's what led me back behind the counter of a fast food joint, despite everything that had happened the last time. It wasn't even my town. I had moved to the outskirts of Marlow Springs, a place that felt more like a shadow than a city. I was broke, buried under late rent notices, and stuck with a car that wouldn't start during a summer thunderstorm. So when I saw the "Help Wanted" sign outside the Burger King on Route 50, I told myself, just for a week, just long enough to breathe again. The store was isolated, barely lit, tucked between gas stations and shuttered shops. Most nights, it felt like I was serving ghosts. The manager, Russ, was friendly in the way a man running on caffeine and nicotine often is. Jumpy, thin, and always smelling of fryer grease. He warned me early on, night shifts here are dead quiet, just keep the place clean and stay awake. That sounded perfect. I've always preferred silence. Or at least I thought I did. My shift ran from 6 p.m. to 3 a.m., and on most nights, I'd see maybe 3 customers. A trucker, a road-tripping couple, and once, a guy who talked to his cheeseburger. But then came that Saturday night in June. The sky had been bruising all day. Dark clouds coiled above like snakes ready to strike. The air was thick, too thick. It clung to my skin like wet cotton. Around 11:20 p.m., Russ handed me the keys, yawning. "Storm's keeping 'em off the roads. Should be quiet. You good?" "Yeah," I lied. He gave me a look, hesitated, then left. The next hour passed with only the low buzz of the soda machine and the hum of the overhead lights. I leaned against the counter, staring into the empty parking lot when a truck sped past, too fast for this road. Then came the sound, a crunch, a wet, sickening noise that made my stomach twist. Curious and cautious, I stepped outside. The air was heavy and hot, and the rain had begun to mist the pavement. About 40 feet away lay the remains of an animal. A fox, maybe. Its body was torn open. Its insides gleamed under the flashing red neon of the Burger King sign. I nudged it off the road. "Sorry, little guy." That's when I saw him, inside the restaurant. A man, standing still, too still, dressed in a ridiculous plastic Burger King costume, oversized rubber head, velvet robe, fake crown. The whole thing looked homemade and wrong. He turned as the bell above the door chimed. His voice was deep, metallic. "Didn't think anyone still worked here." I froze. We're open." He smiled, too wide. "Then I'll have fries, a double cheeseburger, and maybe your crown, my liege." I forced a laugh. "Sure, restroom's open too." He walked in, boots thudding. I turned back to the kitchen, shook my head, just another strange guy passing through. I prepped his food, set it on a tray, and waited. 15 minutes. Nothing. I knocked on the bathroom door. "Your food's ready." No response. The door creaked open. He stepped out, and something had changed. His eyes were bloodshot, his lips raw, red, not makeup, not normal. He stared at me with a gaze that cut right through my skin. He sat in the corner booth, unwrapped the burger, and then, God help me, he pulled something out of his coat pocket. Entrails. Bloody. Fresh. I gasped. "What the hell is that?" "King's special," he said softly. I backed away. "That's not..." That's roadkill. Fresh, he whispered, lifting the bun and shoving the guts inside. Then he ate, loud, slurping, animalistic. Each bite made my stomach twist. When he finished, he licked his fingers with long, exaggerated strokes. I ran to the bathroom and vomited. That's when I saw the blood, in the sink. Thick streaks, like he'd rinsed his prize off here. Then came the crash. A car alarm shrieked. I sprinted outside. A blue sedan had slammed into a tree down the road. The driver's door hung open. He was there, the king, standing over the car. Inside, a woman, her face gone, torn apart. I screamed. He turned, lips smeared red. I've never tasted human roadkill, he said. Then he climbed into the wreck and began licking her ruined face like a dog devouring meat. I collapsed. The world went black. When I woke, there were sirens, EMTs, cops, flashing lights. "Ma'am," an officer said, "do you know what happened here?" I nodded. I told them everything, the man in costume, the burger, the woman, the footage. They reviewed the security video. He was there, everything, ordering, eating, smiling. Then, in the final frame, he turned to the camera and waved. They never found him. Just the costume, torn and abandoned in the woods behind the restaurant. I still work nights sometimes, but never alone. Never again. Because I don't think he's after animals anymore. And some kings always come back for their crown. Moral of the story. Some horrors wear a smile, and not every crown is worn by royalty. Trust your instincts, because what feels wrong often is.